everyone, welcome to my first ever video about Last Cloudia. This is a game that has been out in Japan for about 5 months and recently got its global release about 3 weeks ago, and honestly, I've been loving it. And coincidentally, this video is also sponsored by Last Cloudia, so it lines up really well for me because I have really enjoyed this game quite a lot. If you would like to give Last Cloudia a try and support me and my channel at the same time, please click the link below. Remember, any support that goes towards this channel goes towards the channel itself. It goes towards entertainment, it goes towards polls, it goes towards whatever makes you guys happy. So please, if you want to check out Last Cloudia, use that link below. So this video is aimed to be a overview, a review of this game, and to kind of highlight some of the points about it, what you might like about it, because as a Final Fantasy Brave Exvius content creator, I gotta do something besides Brave Exvius once in a while. So if you really like this video, please let me know in the comments below. Tell me that you want to see more Last Cloudia stuff, and if you don't, no big deal. The Final Fantasy Brave Exvius stuff will keep coming. This is for me to go ahead and try something a little bit different, because I don't play a lot of gacha games, I don't play a lot of phone games, I don't have the time to play a lot of games on my phone, especially because it drains the battery and whatever, but Last Cloudia has been absolutely worth it, and as you can tell by my rank, if you're seeing any of my clips, I've been playing it quite a bit. I haven't just dabbled. I've really committed to actually trying the game out, and it is a lot of fun. So I figured I would let you know what my thoughts are about it, and kind of give you an idea about whether or not you might like it as well. So, as far as highlighting the things I love about this game, I have to say the first thing that really sticks out to me is the art. Last Cloudia has some really colorful, stunning, cool art. Like, I just really like it. All of the different units and all the different arcs and all the other things in this game just are really well polished. Everything looks amazing. And that goes to the character sprites, that goes to the character art when you're viewing them in the menu. I think that is one of the things that is really going for this game. Now, one of the things that I think is unique is that this game mostly takes place in the world map. I think that's kind of different from Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, which I'm accustomed to. You don't really go into the world map that much once you have completed the main scenario, right, the main quest. But Last Cloudia has a big old map stuffed full of different quests and missions and side quests and chests and unlockables and things that you can kind of explore and look at. And the map really is very cool. I think it's just as polished as any of the other art in the game. And it's cool because it's kind of just where you go when you need to go shopping for new stuff. So if you need a particular thing or a particular drop or a particular item or what have you, you can go to different stages that have higher likelihoods of dropping that thing for you. So that is one element that I really like. Now, the way that the map functions is that it's similar to other mobile games where you go stage to stage and you have different missions you complete, you know, to earn your different stage clear rewards. And along the way, you can find different on the map sort of secrets or treasures or unlocks. Some of them come in the form of treasure chests, and the more important one comes in the form of these blue nodes, these blue orb nodes, and then you can unlock red ones as well, and these orbs serve as one of your resources. In Last Cloudia, you have 3 main resources, 4 I guess if you count the premium currency, but I would consider the Zell or the gold to be one of your resources, and then the blue orbs and the red orbs, and these are a critical part of the system, and we can talk a little bit about that later. But I really like it because the orbs basically power up your ability to enhance your arcs or to enhance your characters. It really is just a really nice system. So let's talk real quick about the characters and about the arcs, because with other gacha games, I feel like there's such a huge focus on characters, but in Last Cloudia, it's kind of an undercurrent, actually. The nice thing is you can use all of the story characters, and they are just fine. Like, they are plenty strong. They can get you through a lot of content, all content, really. And Last Cloudia's characters are also super customizable. So you might pull a character that has a predisposition to be like a physical damage dealer or a mage or something else like that, but the fun thing about this game is that you can customize units however you want. And so you do have your core characters that you play with, but the way that you customize them is through the arc system. Now, arcs are sort of like characters. I mean, they have a base kind of like a character does, and you collect them like a character does. But the difference with arcs is that they are your source of abilities and powers and different passives. So if you have a character that you want to give different abilities or passives or things to, the arcs are a way to learn them. And each of the arcs are super finely detailed. They have a ton of awesome visuals on them. Like they're just really well made. And each of them kind of have like their own theme or specialty to them. So if we go to the Geist Training Mountain, this particular arc is designed for physical damage dealers since it gives you attack boost things, which is really nice. And as you can see, it comes from different levels. So I currently have this arc at level 5. So I've unlocked attack up, patience, and impact as learnable skills. All right, so you use the blue and the red orbs to level up your arcs, and the arcs will then learn abilities, and then you equip those arcs to your characters and take them into stages to learn those abilities. So as you can see on this menu here, I have a party of Ray, Dine, and Lena, and this is my core party. This is who I've been running with lately, and each of them has an arc equipped. And as you can see, they each have an orb cost listed under them, 110 blue for the one on the left, 136 red for the one in the middle, and 182 red for the one on the right. And this is the orb cost to run it into a single quest or mission of any difficulty. And so if I wanted to teach one of these characters one of these abilities, I would equip this arc to them and then start consuming orbs and running them through these missions or these quests to start teaching them those skills, which is super awesome. So if I have this guy who is a mage, right, and I want to teach him mage skills, where'd he go? Oh, he's right here. He's highlighted. So if I want to teach him mage skills, no problem. What I'm going to go ahead and do is equip him with an arc that teaches him mage skills, such as the Sorcerer's Eden. And then as I level it up, there are more abilities that I can learn, and I'm going to run him through battles, which it's pretty straightforward. It's really very, very intuitive, very easy to farm. Now, the nice thing is, if you just want to level units or you want to get level rewards, you can take characters up against quests without any arcs equipped, and it consumes 0 orbs. So you are able to play the game pretty much as you would like to. You can run those quests as much as possible. You still get all the drops, you still get all the rewards, you just don't get any of the arc progression, which is totally fine. That's and so that's a whole separate thing. So that's basically how the progression happens with your characters. Is you take them into battles and they learn these abilities, and it's super customizable. And we'll go ahead and look at one of the characters real quick. Dine is one of the characters that I have been rolling with right from the get-go. He's a very powerful mage character, and as such, I've been teaching him mage skills, but I need to teach him more. He's still a work in progress for sure. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of different menu options on this screen. You can see there's Enhance, which basically increases his level cap. Characters are able to go up to a cap of level 100, and it is, I must warn you, quite a grind to get up there. The nice thing is your characters can really start getting some stopping power at level 40, 50, and 60. They really start performing well enough that, you know what, it's not a big deal. Now, Awakening is something else that you can do that just increases your base stats and improves your ultimate ability. And those are things that you kind of progress towards as you move through the game. Now, each character also has an ability tree sort of thing. I mean, it's a big old spider web with all sorts of abilities and things branching out, and this is kind of your individual character progression as you go throughout the game and as you level up your character. So for example, with Diane, I might want to unlock his story over here, and if I unlock this story node, it allows me to then enhance him again so that I can increase his level cap to 100. So I would need to, get these materials to unlock this node. So it gives me something to work towards. But it is pretty fun to work through. It is fun to kind of chase different sort of abilities and unlock them. Like, oh, I can't upgrade that one, but can I upgrade this one? Yes, I can. I have what I need. Now he's going to be stronger in battle. And it's very fun to play with. And each character has a totally unique set of skills And one of the things that's interesting is that a lot of the skills that are in the trees can also be learned from arcs. So if you see something on another character, you're like, man, that's a powerful combo. I don't have that character, but I do have an arc that gives me that ability. You can build that onto any of your characters that you want to. Now the fun really comes into play when you look at the skill set screen. So this is where it displays all of your different abilities and passives that you have learned from your arcs. And you can equip these up to a cap that is determined by your skill cost, which you can increase over time. So it's really fun because I can boost or build for particular sort of enemies or types of enemies, or build certain types of magic to be stronger, or certain types of attacks if you're using physical damage dealers, and it really brings a ton of versatility. So for example, I have some healing magic that I've taught Dine because there were times where I just needed some healing and I didn't have Lena, my healer, yet, so it was like, alright, well, he's a mage and he can learn Healing Wind, he can learn anything, so let's teach him a healing ability. And I thought that was a lot of fun to do. You can also do support type moves, like Giga Blazer is basically a break, a stat reduction thing, which makes it easier for your party to survive. And yeah, and one of the things that's worth taking note of is that any of these that have an SC of 0, that means it costs 0 points against your total up here to have that equipped, and that's because he learned it as part of his tree. So it is advantageous to learn skills in your tree. Now that's all well and good, you learn abilities and you level your characters, big whoop. When does it actually get fun? When do you actually go into battle? And the thing about this game is that a lot of the time there are going to be easy battles, and then some of the battles are going to get super, super hard, and that's where the game really starts to blossom. I felt at first when I was playing the game that, oh, maybe this game is too simple, or the mechanics are really dumb, or oh, this game plays itself. But the more I've leveled, the more nuanced it's become, especially because the fights do get more and more difficult with time. So this, for example, is a fight that I don't think I've beaten it before. I don't even know if I've attempted it yet. And I'll give some commentary as we go. Oh, look. Oh my goodness, we're crushing it. Okay, I was underleveled when I last attempted this, and I have a really OP friend with me. Which, that's also a very viable strategy when playing this game. You can take OP friends to help carry you. One of the things that kind of irked me about this game, and I'll pause to comment on it real quick, is that mages will automatically use their MP to cast skills based on their AI. And sometimes it's really handy, like I have Lena here who is my healer, so she'll automatically cast healing spells as long as she has MP to do so. Which is handy because then I don't have to micromanage the healing. But it kind of sucks if you know you have a difficult boss fight and your damage mages are just blowing all their MP on trash mobs. That happened a lot early game, and it was really frustrating. It actually made me it made me want to quit the game altogether, if I'm being perfectly frank. I was like, this is kind of obnoxious, but it got so much better as I went along. It got to the point where magic is basically all that my mages use. It definitely comes with levels. So if that's a frustration that you've experienced with this game, give it a little bit of time because it does improve quite a lot. Now, each character has 4 different abilities down at the bottom that they charge over time, and you can activate in the middle of battle. These are kind of your bread and butter abilities that don't cost anything, and they fill over time. And you can do different combinations, like certain moves can juggle your opponent so they can't move. Other abilities can be more like one-hit high damage moves that do extra damage to juggled opponents, that sort of thing. And so you can kind of wombo combo them. The meta that I've seen, and that I've seen to be the most effective for me, as you can see on the screen, is that magic is currently a little bit overpowered. So if you can get a mage character up and rolling as soon as possible, that's what you want to do. And the good news about that is that the story characters are really good, and they fill out basically any of the roles you need. General Zekus is the mage that you get, and you get him pretty early on in the story, and that's super helpful because he is an ice mage, and he is a damn good one at that. Like, he does a ton of damage. But you can use, like I said, you can use pretty much any character. If you're like, oh, I don't feel like using Zekus, or I don't feel like using the characters I have, you can go ahead and use any character and make them work. Which is something that I really, really like. It makes it so that any character that you invest in is meaningful, because it does take quite a bit of time. So here we are on the final stage. I'm pretty sure I'm going to blow this one away because I think the final boss is like a plant type enemy. Let's see. If it's a plant, I should be able to burn it up. Let's see. The Queen Pockle. Pockles are generally... Oh, this one's like a demon Pockle, so we want to do light damage. Let's see how much this does to it. Actually, wait. I'm gonna use Ray. Ray is one of the free story characters. Because I didn't have any good melees at the time. So I'm going to do Nemesis, which is a stat reducer. I'm going to go ahead and cast it on Queen Pockle. Queen Pockle, there you are. There we go, a little mind reduction. And reducing the mind means that your spells will do more damage against them. So let me swap over to Dine. And, ooh, he has his Fulmagna Sun, which basically lights the whole stage on fire. And then he's going to do some light magic. And that should just blow the Queen Pockle away. And the harder the fight, the more nuance there is. Oh, she's still alive. She's a resilient little Pockle. Let's get her with a Phoenix. That should do it. Boom. Now, the thing that really just attracted me to the gameplay is that it is so pretty while you're playing it. There's just so much to see, so much to... like, it's just really well done. The animations are fun. The sound effects are fun. Which I don't have the sound effects in this video for the sultry sound of my voice. Enough rambling about that. Who cares if any of this is fun if the summoning system is not also fun? Now, I have to say, the summoning in this game is really cool. I really happen to like it quite a bit. Because anything that you get in the game at this point in the game is meaningful. You could get... and the summons are separated into tiers. There's R, there's SR, and there's SSR, and that's for the arks. That's for the things that you equip to your characters to teach them new abilities. Now, these are denoted by blue is SR, is R, gold is SR, and then SSR are the red orbs when you are summoning. And the other thing that you can acquire when you summon are the characters. And characters are always red summons. And they are the rarest thing to acquire. And that's because it takes a long time to build up a character. So you're not really going to like need a ton of characters. This isn't like any other gacha where, oh, I need to collect this unit. Oh, this unit came out this week. I need to get him too. Oh, I need to get this unit the following week after that. Like, that's not a thing in this game. You want to build out your collection of arks because that really gives you the greatest amount of flexibility with your parties. It lets you teach them all manner of skills, give them all sorts of passives, and so that is what you really care about the most. And the good thing about it is I think for the ark summon rate, it's going to feel better than perhaps, and the only thing I can really compare it to because of my experience is Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. If I remember right, the rate for summoning SSR arks, or the rarest ones, if I remember correctly, it's like an 8% summon rate, which is quite good, especially if you started Brave Exvius at launch with a 1% rainbow rate, you know? So by comparison, starting at an 8% rate is pretty good. I think your character summon rate is something like 3%, so... you know, that's quite good. And you do get a lot of the summoning currency, the gems. Okay, you can use that to unlock, or to do summons, or you can do it to unlock friend slots, or a couple other things like that. But you do get a ton to start you off as you play the story. I think I did, oh my goodness, I did a whole bunch of 10 summons. Okay, I did the batch of 10 summons with the guaranteed SR arc. I did a whole bunch of those just by completing the story, and I'm still not even done. I've been playing for a few weeks, and there's still a lot of story left for me to play. So I do have to commend the game for that. But overall, I think I've touched upon just about everything else. This game does also have events just like in other gacha games that are limited time. You go ahead and go, you get special rewards or special unlocks or things like that, and that is fantastic. But it's the place where you'll spend most of your time grinding out materials or grinding out Zell is just going to be in the world map, and the world map is where you're going to spend most of your time repeating stages for specific drops. And I will comment a little bit on the grind because I think different people are going to have different levels of tolerance or willingness to put up with the grind because it is different from other games. So I think a lot of people in Brave Exvius, myself included, we can just kind of sit on our laurels. Like, I don't even have to play the game much. You know, I get first time clears on content and then just move along. You know, I don't really bother with a whole lot else. Because I'm busy, I'm kind of you know, I'm on top of things. I got everything else that I need. But in Last Cloudia, events are not super grindy, but if you want to level a character, you're going to have to repeat a lot of stages. The good news is it doesn't actually take that much attention to do it. It is really easy to repeat. It's not like Brave Exvius where you have to have a lot of command inputs, since each stage can take a minute or two to clear, depending on how difficult it is, and it'll clear it automatically for you, right? So like, for example, if I wanted to go farm, let's go take a look at, I've been farming this stage here in the ice caverns. We're gonna go in here, I'm gonna go ahead and select a friend, and I'm gonna go without my orbs, because you get orbs as a reward when you clear a stage, and by doing this I don't consume any orbs. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this mission. It really doesn't take that much attention to clear. You go ahead and load in, and then it automatically starts on auto if it's a stage that you have already completed. So I don't even have to touch anything, and my boys are going to go into battle for me, and my girl, Lena. Lena's an MVP. She's really awesome. I really like her, because she's a mage who like runs up and hits people with her cane. Or she's kind of a healer mage, and she just goes and whaps people with her cane, which is definitely not normal for mages, but she's doing it, and I think it's great. But as you can see, it's pretty straightforward, especially when you have high-level friends who can kind of help carry it for you. But it's really straightforward. And I don't have to pay attention to this. I can let it run, and I'm going to get my rewards. And then, in about a minute or two when this is done, I can just hit repeat and then send, and it'll just do it all over again. So very low attention required to do it. It's just, some people don't want to do it. And, on a scale of like, Brave Exvius being, relatively easy to farm when you're in late game versus like RuneScape. Anybody who's played old school RuneScape, the grind on that is ridiculous. Like, you'll spend weeks to get one level on something. Like, it's not even close to that, right? Like, this is far easier of a grind, but it is still a little bit grindy. And I think the bottom line is, if you take Last Cloudia as a game about the journey rather than the destination, you'll enjoy it a lot more, because this game is not about blitzing to end game content. It's because there's not a ton of it, right? Once you hit end game, and I'll say that in like air quotes, you've kind of already probably beaten most of the stuff, and it's not really about that. It's just about leveling characters. It's about completing the story, and I haven't even commented on the story. The story is great. It's really well made. The sprite art and the environments is really, really good, and you get some like anime tropes in there, which for me, I'm like, I'm not much of a fan of anime, but the story is really well done, and it is lengthy. There's a lot to chew through for sure, so it can definitely keep you occupied for a lot of hours. And if you just play it for the story, that's pretty low commitment, because if you get to a stage you can't beat, you just grab an overpowered friend from your list and let them carry you through, and then you just continue on with the story. So on the whole, I'm pretty pleased with the game. I'm enjoying it a lot right now. I do quite a lot of just idle farming, like while I'm at work or while I'm editing a video or while I'm doing whatever, because I can just click repeat, do it again, go back in and go back in and clear that stage again, and I don't have to babysit it. It does its own thing, and you always get useful rewards from it. So overall, I've really, really enjoyed Last Cloudia. I do intend on continuing to play it. Now again, as a reminder, please use the link down below if you would like to give Last Cloudia a try and support my channel at the same time. Thank you so much again for your support. If you would like to see more Last Cloudia content on this channel, please let me know down in the comments below. If you don't tell me, I'm not going to know it's something you want. You gotta tell me, and then we can see about making it happen. And if you have any ideas about what sort of content you'd want to see about this game, I'm more than happy to look into it. But that's up to you guys. You let me know what you would like to see, and I'll see everybody in the next video.